sure all of us have heard the expression. I think it was in a commercial where they say, "I'll keep the lights on for you." Well, we're going to have a conversation today with someone whose mission and whose job and whose responsibility is to keep the lights on. I'm sure that we all recognize the importance of lights when we have a storm and the lights go out. Well, they just don't automatically happen. There has to be some kind of control and some kind of organizations and some individuals behind it. So we're more than a little pleased today to have somebody who can flip the switch, keep them on for us in the person of Miss Deon Tucker. How you doing?
I am doing well, Mr. Havisham. How are you today?
Oh, I'm outstanding. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host. You did that so well. I'm your host, Alex Havisham, and as I said, we're going to interview this very, very interesting young lady, and she said she did her research, but I did mine too. I almost didn't believe her ascension, as it relates to becoming the regional director. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, the Southern Company of Georgia Power. So I want you to confirm that by talking about your first association with Georgia Power.
My first association with Georgia Power was as a temporary customer service.
That's what I was wondering whether that was true or not. Now, so I want you to talk about your ascension, Ms. Tucker, and let me tell you why. Because part of our objective is to motivate people and to encourage people. So now you telling me that you started in 1994?
That is correct. You have done your research.
I have done. You started in 1994 as a temporary. Well, lo and behold, 26 years later, this young lady who started out as a temporary employee is now the regional director, and I think that's quite an accomplishment. Now, talk about your ascension and the kind of qualities and motivations that help to keep you on the road of being promoted.
Sure. Well, like we referred to, started with the company. I was actually going to Georgia State University and working part-time at our Greenbrier local office in Atlanta as a customer service rep. Thought really that I would be leaving the company once I graduated. But lo and behold, 2 months after I graduated, I became a full-time employee. I got compliments on my work ethic, always being on time. As a temporary employee, I really took the job seriously. So I became a full-time employee, worked all of our functions in the customer service arena that were relevant to me at the time as a customer service rep, then had an opportunity to go to HR. And as a part of the HR team, I tested folks for employment with Georgia Power, which was interesting coming from a temporary rep to now be testing people for employment. So I did that actually for Georgia and some parts of Alabama for about a year. And then really took a look at my career and said, what do you want to do? What does this look like for you? Had a strong customer service background, so I applied for a customer service supervisor position. Didn't get that job, but the feedback was, some of us need to get to know you here at this call center. Apply for an analyst job and we'll go from there. And lo and behold, 6 months later, I was a supervisor at the customer care center. So really that work ethic and desire to learn more about the company, along with some good mentors, really started my ascent really into leadership with the company. Like I said, customer service was a big part of it. I went on to manage our region as a customer service region manager in Metro South. And for those people who are watching now, not familiar with that, that is the airport area in Metro Atlanta. So did that for a number of years, came back where I started as a supervisor and actually managed our statewide call center for years. And then really stopped again and looked at my career and said, what do you want to do next? And I realized I needed to diversify my career. I've been known as customer service. So had a chance to interview with one of our senior vice presidents as his chief of staff, got that job, and that opened me up to sales and marketing, community and economic development, and our external activities. And that has led me to where I am today as the regional director for the Macon area, with responsibilities for 23 counties, responsible for customer service, community and economic development, and our external activities.
Well, I think that's absolutely short of phenomenal, and I want to congratulate you. And I just want to take uh, interviewer's privilege and mention that if you can do it, then other people can do it. Now, last time I checked, you are female and African American, you know. So in spite of those barriers that some people claim that people have, you were able to begin as a temporary employee and move from there to being in charge of something like 130,000 customers in 23 counties. So I just think that's a phenomenal accomplishment, and I really appreciate your mentioning the kind of qualities that are necessary to advance, you know, from temporary to a real executive. So I want to congratulate you, and I want to encourage, and I'm sure you would do well. You encourage other young people, you know, to have the kind of confidence. Just make a comment, because what we're trying to do, and it's incumbent upon all of us. You know, we're not going to be in these positions forever, nor are we going to be here forever. But we want our young people to be motivated and to understand what it takes to do like the Jefferson, to move on up.
That is correct. We spend a lot of time, and I know I do, mentoring others that are coming along behind me. And I often say, I want you to be better than me. So here are some of the things I didn't know and I had to learn. And here's that framework to help you get a head start on some of the things that I didn't know actually coming into the company. But it's been a good experience for me. I've had 11 different positions over the 26 years, so can't complain at all. It's been a great opportunity, and looking forward to just sharing in Central Georgia, just with folks that I come in contact with, especially folks in our community, about the opportunities at the power company. Because oftentimes we don't think about it. I never would have thought that I would be with the utility, but there are some awesome opportunities, and looking forward to sharing that message with the community.
Talk a little bit about, this is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Haversham, interviewing Miss Deon Tucker, who's an expert in ascension. She started as a temporary employee now, and let me do this. Let me welcome you to Central Georgia, and let me say that we're glad to have you, and let me say that we're interested in getting to know you better, and I'm sure you're interested in getting to know the community better. So let's sashay from that and talk about your responsibility as a regional director. And I noticed you mentioned community development, marketing, and sales and everything. Just talk about your responsibility.
Sure. So my responsibility, when you look at it, so those 23 counties, I'm actually responsible personally for Macon and Bibb County. So my efforts so far, since I've been here the last 2 months, getting involved with the Chamber, One Macon, United Way, those organizations, and others, there are others, those organizations, and making sure that we are supporting those organizations, leading efforts, and being a voice for the community in which we serve. So that is my personal responsibility. And when you extrapolate that out to my team, that is what we're responsible for all of the counties. So mine may look different as one, but then when you put us all together, we make up the whole of those 23 counties doing those exact same things. And of course, as you mentioned, when storms come along, we're the voice that you see, because our distribution guys and our line guys do not have the opportunity to stop and talk with you. So we're that voice connecting you with what is going on in our field.
Well, I noticed that you mentioned that you're involved in certain nonprofits and other organizations designed to uplift, enhance, and improve the community. Talk about the importance of that. Why is the Southern Company or Georgia Power, whichever you would prefer, involved in? I mean, your responsibility is lights. So why are you involved in the Chamber, in One Macon, and the United Way? how does that tie in, if you please, to corporate responsibility?
So when you think about our tenants as Georgia Power and what we promise to our 2.6 million customers, it's value for what you receive, it's reliability with your service, it's good customer service, but stewardship is important to us as well. And we have, you will hear Georgia Power employees say, a citizen wherever we serve. Well, I'm a part of this community. I now live in Macon-Bibb. So I want to make that community even better. So with our resources and our leadership, when we get to communities, that is what we do. And that is why it's important to us, because we serve this community and we live in the communities, and we want to make them as good as possible and have that influence.
Yes, yes. You talked about, you kind of hinted that there may still be opportunities, maybe entry levels or other kind of opportunities for people to join Power Company and be a part of the team. Talk a little bit about that availability and that process.
Sure. So I will tell you now, with COVID, things look a little different and they are moving a little slower. But just for an example, for a line worker, you would go online and apply, and that's at careers@southernco.com. If you are selected, what you do, you come in and there's a test that you would have to take. It's called a CAS test. That's getting into a little too many details, but it's a test that you would have to take. And if that test is passed, then you interview for the position. And then from there, you become, if you're successful, a part of the company. Now, this process takes a moment, because there's also a physical abilities test. There are different things, and we want to expose you to it because it's not something that people see every day. So that's one side of the business that we were heavily recruiting for before COVID. And then our customer care center, which is a huge organization. We currently have positions sometimes there. We are now starting, like I used to start, as temporary versus Georgia Power employees now there. So those are sometimes the opportunities that folks will see most of the time. But I tell people, if you're interested in other positions, what you need to do is go onto our website, careers@southernco.com, and there's always a list.
Well, let me tell you that your predecessors, in the person of Teresa Robinson and Ron Shipman, have done a phenomenal job in creating a positive image of Georgia Power and in providing good customer service, and in keeping the lights on. So I know that you want to give a shout out to both of them, because you're familiar with them and we love them, and they have been a part of many of the things in our community and many of the projects in which I have been involved. So I'll just give you a moment to give Teresa and Ron a shout out.
You are exactly right. Known Ron for a number of years, used to actually work for him in Metro Atlanta. So I appreciate him and what he's done for the area, and appreciate his support since moving to this position. And I would actually say the same for Teresa. As soon as I got the position, got an email from her, we've been chatting about different opportunities and things to keep in mind as I am moving into the area. So I do give both of them a shout out, and kudos to for all they have done in the community.
And I join you in that expression. As I said before, this is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Havisham, interviewing Ms. Deon Tucker, who's the regional director of, do you prefer Georgia Power or the Southern Company?
So Georgia Power is who I technically work for. Okay. Southern Company is our parent company. So Georgia Power is great.
Of the Georgia Power Company. Okay, now, so I'm sure that you're getting involved in the community. So, I mean, other than, the three organizations that you mentioned, is there any other involvement that you are now engaged in, or is there any desire? I mean, what I'm trying to do is to make sure that the red carpet is laid out for you, because we want you comfortable, we want you to continue to be involved, and we want you to feel welcome. So is there anything that the community can do for you, or anything you want to mention as it relates to Georgia Power and the community? Any kind of availability for entities and organizations for you or for somebody who represents Georgia Power to maybe reach out to you and be involved?
So I mentioned those three, but I actually have about 5 others that I'm currently working on as well now. And what I am telling folks now is really, I want to look at my capacity, because when I start something, I want to do it and do it well. So that is what I am looking at now, my capacity to join other things. But I look forward to us getting to a situation where I can get out and spend more time whenever COVID is over and get to really know some other places to plug in. I actually watched a Zoom call with you talking about the business support fund. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. But for now, I think I am okay with opportunities. But as we continue to move into what our plan looks like for the Macon area, me and my team, I will be in touch if there's anything else we need to do.
Okay, well, I want to talk to you a little bit about economic development. I know you're intricately involved in that, but before we do that, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. My name is Alex Habersham, and I'm the host of this show, which is a call to action, and our mission is to impart information and familiarize the community with individuals who are making a measurable difference in the community. And I'm more than a little happy to have a young lady, and that I see a marvel at this, and I know it's possible, who went from a temporary to the regional director of Georgia Power Company. And the reason I think it's so important, because it can serve as a motivational factor to young people and other people. And so we can realize that if we keep our eye on the prize, and if we keep evaluating ourselves and our position, then we could do the Jefferson. We can move on up. And so I just want to congratulate you and thank you, Ms. Deon Tucker, for all that you've done, and your progress, and your rising and shining in Georgia Power. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
It's okay. I'm Alex Habersham interviewing Miss Deon Tucker. So talk about, let me ask you a question. I know I've been in meetings, and then there have been people, and I don't know whether you all still do this or not, but there have been people that come in and do facilitation. I think it was a chamber meeting. I don't know whether you all still do that or not. I just remember being very, very impressed with some guy who came in to do facilitation. If you don't have that, then talk about Georgia Power's role and position and on economic development.
Sure. And yes, we do still have those. And I'm assuming you were probably in a community and economic development meeting. We have community and economic development managers across the state that partner with us, and they are our eyes and ears in the world of economic development. And what they do is, like you said, they will come in and facilitate opportunities between this prospect and the actual local community, or they will just simply prepare the local community for a prospect visit to help us gain as much business as we can in Georgia, but we do still have those.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And I just remember being thoroughly impressed with that process. Well, let's talk a little bit about I know that, but, are there things that, you talked a little bit about a program prior to our taking, while we were breaking, that you were involved. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Sure. So the program I was mentioning to you is called Earth Care, and it's in partnership with the Georgia Power Foundation and 21st Century Leadership. I was involved in it last year, and actually we meet every year. This is the 13th year. We have about 100 students to come to Georgia College, and there's a week-long series. They typically stay there, and they focus on leadership and things that are affecting the environment, and how do they, their thought process around some things that we can do better and to prepare them for their higher education. The sessions are limited to rising sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Now this year, of course, it will look a little different because of COVID. It's actually going to be a virtual session. So they'll have an opportunity to participate in leadership sessions, but also have some time to talk to Georgia Power employees about their career path and just network with us and also members from the community at large. So it's a great opportunity from students. Actually, last year I met 3 that still reach out to me on LinkedIn for various opportunities and feedback, which is very good. A couple of them were leading programs in their school, and they had some questions about how should, some as simple as, does this sound too authoritative when I send an email out? How should I craft that? What is my message back to our sponsors? What does that look like? So I've had a great time getting to know them and look forward to this session. We normally have it the first week of June. This year, again, it's going to be virtually. We're doing it the 3rd week of July. So during that week, we'll be heavily involved with the Earth Care program.
That's outstanding. And that reflects the importance of mentorship, and mentoring. I believe very strongly in that. I believe that as adults and as professionals, we have a responsibility to reach back and try to help and support young people in our community. And I really appreciate you doing that. And I know you too, because I heard you mention the word mentoring in your saying what you try to do with your employees and how you try to give back, not only as it relates to your employees, but to anybody like these young people that reached out to you. So I'm in full agreement with that.
We will get through this with hard work and long hours, by keeping our distance while keeping in touch, by traveling less and moving more. You do your part by staying home, and we'll do our part to keep the lights on, providing you with reliable energy and giving you more ways to use it efficiently. We know home means more now than ever. Count on us to be here so you can be there.
Need a little help paying or reducing your energy bill? Georgia Power is here to help. If you're 65 years or older, living on a fixed income, Georgia Power has a senior discount you may be eligible for. We also have lots of programs and services that can help you reduce your energy use. It's just one of the many ways Georgia Power is committed to helping customers save on their energy bills. Call us or visit georgiapower.com/energy.
COVID-19 has impacted each one of us in different ways, but we've all been affected. The only way to protect Middle Georgia and each other is by working together and taking all preventative measures outlined by the CDC. Here's a few tips to prevent COVID-19. Wear a mask. Wash your hands frequently. When you cough, cover your mouth. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. Avoid contact with sick people. Also, clean and disinfect to keep you and your family safe.
We'll need your help, and this will help everybody get through COVID-19.
For updates on changes in Macon-Bibb, government services, and office hours, visit maconbibb.us/COVID-19. And let's protect Middle Georgia.
I got something, I guess in an email the other day, that Georgia Power is not just involved in the wiring and things of that nature. I got something in that in the email about conserving energy, about changing the thermostat, and talked about the refrigerator. So talk about how Georgia Power reaches all the way down to everyday consumerism as it relates to the services and products that you offer.
Sure, good point. And when you think about that and that energy efficiency, this is a great time to have the conversation about, let's do some things that we can do at our homes, our air conditioning units. We need to set that thermostat to 78. Each time you go below that 78-degree setting, you're probably going to spend about 3 to 4% more on your utility bill.
Wow.
Second point is, if you can, cooking, your oven, washing clothes, your dishwasher, those things that put off heat, use those later in the evening when it's cooler and it's not pulling as much from your AC unit. Also, another good thing to do is filters. Sometimes people forget to check their filters, but every 3 months, you need to change those filters in your home. If you have a dirty filter, what happens is your unit is working harder. And I would also encourage folks, you can also go online and just do an online audit just to see particularly what is going on in your home and get some tips on how to increase the energy efficiency of your home.
Now they can go to the your website to get that information. I was going to ask you about that because sometimes we take things for granted, you know, as it relates to some of the things that we can do to make our lives better, you know, to reduce the cost and things of that nature. So is there a website?
Yes, they can go to georgiapower.com and click on the residential button, and it will take you to the online. It's called an online energy audit and should take about 15 minutes to complete.
Okay, now is there, and I know you're a large company and you all are busy, but is there a customer service department just in case somebody would have some questions or some concerns about any issue as it relates to Georgia Power?
There is. We have a call center, and that number is 1-888-660-5890. And I'd also like to say, while I'm speaking about our customer service area, at the beginning of COVID, we suspended disconnections and our collections process at Georgia Power. Over the last month or so, we've been working to get messages out to customers that we are about to start the collections process again on July 15th. But what we have is a great opportunity for customers to, that past due that was accumulated during COVID, they have the opportunity to pay that in a payment plan over 6 months, starting in October, and it goes through March. So I would encourage customers, if they have not gotten the call or the email, because we were relying on what was actually on the customer account, and sometimes that's not always correct. You haven't gotten that, I would encourage you to go online, log into your account, if you are interested, to apply for that payment plan. And then also, if you don't have an online account, if you would give us a call, you can do it through the voice response unit or with a live agent.
Wow, that is such valuable information. And that's reflective of good corporate citizenship. So I'm so happy that Georgia Power is doing that. And I'm so happy that you are the regional director in our hometown. And I'm so happy to welcome you. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Havisham, having interviewed Ms. Deon Tucker, Regional Director of the Georgia Power Company. Thank you so much. Welcome to Macon. Have a good day.
Thank you.
www.makingblackpages.com